Shine the pulse of the road and the future of flight. From viral trends to policy shifts, we cut through the traffic to bring you the stories that drive us. Your fast-track guide to everything on the move starts right now. From the Billionaire News Channel studio to Mel 947 BFM, your playlist made better. I'm Paolo del Rosario. This is Shift Happens. For years, the conversation around Philippine cities has been dominated by traffic congestion and the struggle for breathing room. But in the heart of the Visayas, one city is flipping the script, proving that urban growth doesn't have to mean more cars, but rather more human-centric spaces. Iloilo City has transformed from a historic trading hub into a modern blueprint for sustainable living. It isn't just about moving vehicles anymore. It's about reclaiming the streets for the people who walk, run, and pedal through them. Now, it isn't just about moving vehicles anymore. It's about reclaiming the streets, as we mentioned a while ago, for those who walk, run, and pedal. Now, through green governance and strategic infrastructure, the city has successfully integrated active transport into the daily lives of its citizens, thus earning its reputation as a bike capital of the Philippines. But beyond these accomplishments, Iloilo is setting its eyes on being a model city for the country, pushing sustainable initiatives while preserving its culture and sustain a robust, inclusive, and innovative economy. Now, to discuss the continued evolution of Iloilo City and its journey towards becoming a global model for sustainable urban mobility, we are honored to be joined today by the first elected female mayor of the City of Love, Mayor Raisa Treñas. Magandang hapon, Mayor. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yes, good afternoon.
All right, Mayor, first of all, congratulations once again on being the bike capital of the country. If I'm not mistaken, noong 2025 po, nasement po yung place na to again with different groups awarding Iloilo City and lauding it as yung bike capital of the Philippines. Gaano ka-importante po ito that this is actually a long-term plan? It's been there since the previous administration as well to make sure that Iloilo City is sustainable and, of course, people-centered yung infrastructure po nila.
Yes, this is one of the initiatives of the of Iloilo City government from the previous administration to this administration. Part of our goal is to help in the active mobility of our constituents. So we plan to have protected bike lanes, and we incorporated it in our designs, in our infrastructure. We did the urban planning design, and we're very happy that we were able to work with architect Alcazarian for this.
Mm-hmm.
So with this project, we were able to develop the Iloilo River Esplanade. So last week, it was highlighted that the longest linear park in the Philippines is the Iloilo River Esplanade, and this is part of our protected bike lanes. So this spans at, I think, almost 11 kilometers for protected bike lanes here in Iloilo City, where it is a shared space for bike and runners here in Iloilo City.
What I enjoy about Iloilo City, apart from, of course, yung active mobility po ninyo, every time I'm actually there, tumataba po ako. Yung pagkain nyo doon, ibang klase talaga. But of course, to get to those spaces, to get to those cultural heritage spots, if I'm not mistaken, konektado po yung active mobility ninyo to those spots. There have been tours, there have been even certain projects that actually ensure that connected siya to the heritage of Iloilo City. How is that part of the growth that you're trying to push forward when it comes to promoting yung heritage at tourism ng Iloilo po?
Because we were able to plan the whole bike lanes and the Iloilo River Esplanade, it was very accessible for our for tourists to go around the city. You can walk from one place to another. Actually, right now we're having a meeting. I just stepped out of it. We have a heat action plan meeting on how to mitigate the heat index here in Iloilo City. Mm-hmm. Because this is part of our mobility plan. If we want to encourage people to go around, to do, to run, to use their bicycles, we have to have our climate should be also able to support them while going around the city. So we have short-term and long-term action plans on how to lower down the heat index, especially that it is now a global problem with the El Nino that we're expecting. We're right now having solutions, so short-term solutions and long-term solutions, how to mitigate the increase of and the temperatures that we're facing right now.
Alam mo, Mayor, I could relate to that. I actually just flew into the Philippines just yesterday and I went from 20 degrees to 35 degrees. At ibang klase talaga yung init. And for those who want to go and become more active mobility people, you have to weather through the heat. And that's always going to be a problem dito sa Pilipinas. How is Iloilo, if you could mind giving a specifics po of yung mga short-term and long-term goals ninyo in terms of mitigating yung heat index para lang magamit yung mga bike lanes and of course these pedestrian lanes that you are continuing to advocate for?
Yes, all over our esplanade, we have green tunnels. We incorporated green tunnels so that if they need an area to where it has a lower heat temperature, heat index, they can stay there before going to another area. Aside from that, we're considering to putting up pulling stations all over the metro to assist our cyclists and the walking community in going around Iloilo City. So we have a lot of solutions that we will in play. We have planned solutions so that we can incorporate so that we will be able to promote active mobility here in Iloilo City.
Mayor, obviously trying to keep everyone cool and healthy and encouraging all of this active mobility options is one of the key focuses of this particular project. When you look at the expansion or potential expansion of it, if I'm not mistaken, 11 kilometers po yung protected bike lanes ninyo. If I'm not mistaken, that number was also true back in 2022. How are we looking? Are you looking towards expanding it? And if ever, how much further can it expand in terms of yung plano po ninyo in Iloilo City?
Right now, we call it Iloilo River Esplanade. So right now it's in Esplanade 12. There's a connectivity from Iloilo River Esplanade to a new development. We call it Sunset Boulevard.
Okay.
So Esplanade 12 will be connecting to Sunset Boulevard. Sunset Boulevard is another 5 kilometers. It's going outside Iloilo City to one town, Oton. So that will be a new connectivity within Iloilo City and another town, Oton.
How important is it that it's actually connected to something? Because I know a few cyclists here in Manila in particular na nagko-complain, maraming ang bike lanes but it doesn't really lead anywhere. But when you look at the connectivity options sa Iloilo City, just how important is it that it goes to places that actually people would go to para magamit talaga yung mga bike lane and pedestrian lanes po ninyo?
I think it's the number one priority when doing projects like this. We need to review the connectivity, especially right now with the oil prices going up. Using your bikes is an option going to work. Right now, we're also in partnership with DOTR. We're having end of bike facility like showers so that if they go to work, we can have showers they can in our plazas so that it's easier for everyone. If you're considering going to work, you just use your bike and you can use the end of bike facility. You can do your shower there and then you can go to work immediately.
And of course, that's always an issue for a lot of people. I know a lot of people who do cycle and then they find places to shower kung saan-saan na lang just to make sure that they are fresh for whatever work that they do have in the future. When we look at what Iloilo has done, it has become a model for many other cities. Have there been any other LGUs or any other government bodies who have been reaching out to you and the city planners of Iloilo to try and replicate this forward? Because some people are saying na walang pag-asa yung Pilipinas in the terms of making it more active mobility friendly. But Iloilo is showing everyone that there is a possibility that this could happen.
Yes, we get a lot of benchmarking activities for our Iloilo River Esplanade. And we're sharing to everyone the best practices that we did. You know, aside from the infrastructure development, we have to consider what we did is we planted trees, we planted ornamentals all over Iloilo City so that it's easier, you know, the temperature. So if it's infrastructure, we get that support from the national government, but the LGU should be the one to lead the planting of trees, the maintenance of the esplanade. So it's one factor why people use our Iloilo River Esplanade, because the trees and the plants, the climate is cooler when you pass by there. Last week I was talking to some cyclists and runners. They were saying that even at 8 a.m., it's not that hot if they still run in our Iloilo River Esplanade because of the trees. So I think it's a collaboration of the national government and also the LGU. It's part of our, you know, our goal for 2029 will be that we will be the top 3 most livable city in the whole Philippines. And this is part of it, to make Iloilo City livable city, is to be able to promote our active mobility.
Well, you do have, if you can have a cooler climate there, the food is already amazing. Of course, having different aspects to Iloilo City, perhaps that goal is closer within reach. And of course, we also have to give credit as well to other cities like Quezon City, who have been promoting active mobility as well with the kilometers of bike lanes that they are trying to expand time and time again. But back to Iloilo and focusing on that for the moment, when we look at the reaction of yung residents po ninyo, because some people prefer, or some people say that if you have more car lanes, more cars, more mobility, that will be better for traffic. But then Iloilo in general has done something different by dedicating more than one car length lane for bicycles in particular in your own highways. How have the residents reacted throughout the years? Of course, you have had experience coordinating, talking to, and for the people who actually use these particular bike lanes. How has that promoted a more active lifestyle and actually improved the livelihoods and life of people in Iloilo?
Actually, that's a good question. If you go to Iloilo, every week we have activities for running, cycling activities. Because of the protective bike lanes that we have, we activated the community. So because of that, there's a balance of wellness here in Iloilo, because everyone is interested to go running or having cycling events. Actually, every week we get at least minimum 2 fun runs or marathons here because of the because of the help of our Iloilo River Esplanade. People get to run, people do cycling, and because of that, we have a lot of local events related to cycling and running here in Iloilo City.
Mayor, I wish I could keep you here longer. I know you're very busy. And before I let you go, how can people find out more about your projects, especially when it comes to your active mobility and your green programs? And of course, I actually have a run or a bike ride over in Iloilo just to experience what you're trying to promote.
Yes, you can follow Iloilo City government page. Actually, I'm inviting everyone. We have a bike festival this June here in Iloilo, where we promote active mobility, and we have that's a whole week of programs for the bike community. So we have from kids to enthusiasts who have different types of activities during that whole week. So I invite everyone to join our Iloilo Bike Festival this coming June.
Mayor, I'm always there to eat, but I am excited to go there to work out. Maybe walk, cycle, or even run. Maraming salamat po, Mayor. That is Mayor Raisa Treñas of Iloilo City. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
All right, so we're going to take a quick pause and a short break. Stay with us. We'll be back in a moment. And we're back. This is Shift Happens. We're going to continue here with cycling, really, because for decades, the spirit of Philippine cycling was defined by the grit of the open road and the legends who conquered our mountain passes. Now, after a period of quiet on the racetrack, the spectacle is returning once again with renewed vigor, turning the roads of Luzon into a stage for national pride and athletic excellence. The MPTC Tour of Luzon isn't just a race, it is a reclamation of our cycling heritage. Beyond the pedals and the pavement, it is a massive endeavor to reignite the passion for a sport that has always been woven into the fabric of our provinces. Stretching over 1,800 kilometers, this 14-stage odyssey challenges 20 elite teams to push their limits from the coast of Batangas to the peaks of Baguio City. The Heritage in Motion theme celebrates more than just speed. It highlights the synergy between modern infrastructure and the historic landmarks that define northern and central Luzon. But organizing an event of this scale, one that coordinates thousands of lives across 13 provinces, requires more than just a finish line. It demands a seamless integration of public safety, sports tourism, and the world-class logistics needed to elevate Filipino cycling to the global stage. As the largest multi-stage cycling event in the country today, the tour serves as a crucial platform for discovering the next generation of Filipino champions by bringing together international competition and local talent. The MPTC is not only promoting active lifestyles, but also driving economic vibrancy in every town the peloton touches. It's a testament to how strategic partnerships and a vision for sports excellence can transform our highways into avenues of opportunity and inspiration. Now, to dive into the massive logistical feat behind this tour and what this means for the future of Philippine sports tourism, we are joined now by Race Director and Head Commissar Jun Lomibao Jr. of the MPTC Tour of Luzon. Magandang hapon, Sir Jun. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yes, magandang hapon, Paolo. Nice to see you, and tomorrow we'll see each other again.
Yes, we will. We'll see each other again.
To the viewers, expect behind me are cumulus clouds and clear skies, so it's a very hot summer. So we expect a very hot competition.
Alam mo, Sir Jun, di ko akalain na may weather report din tayo dito sa show na to. But that's very important because mainit na yung competition bukas. Let's start off first with the MPTC Tour of Luzon. A bit of a recap po, because last year's edition was its return from, of course, the heritage that we have had in the past. Can you tell us first off, how successful was that and how excited are you to build on yung success ng Tour of Luzon last year?
Okay. How successful was the Great Revival? We called it the Great Revival in 2025. Number one, yung enthusiasm to join from the teams, yung mga local riders natin, at meron na tayong international flavor kaagad last year.
Tama.
Yes, and the individual champion was even a foreigner, from Korea. And then number two, of course, social media plays a very big role now. There are more than 100 million views, interactions sa social media. And then the people by the roadside, the fans by the roadside, sa start, sa finish, they were all very excited na nagpataba ng puso at lalo kaming na-inspire. Especially ang tawag ko sa kanya ngayon is the father of the Tour of Luzon Revival, PSC Chairman Patrick Gregorio. And of course, Mr. Ari Perez, ang ating CEO for this year. We got so excited that this year, 14 stages from 8 last year and longer at almost 1,800 kilometers, sabi mo nga. And we expect more and more following from the public, not only locally but also internationally, because the world cycling community is already watching us kahit na hindi pa tayo nasa UCI calendar.
Yeah. Sir, you mentioned si Sir Pato Gregorio, and we have to give him credit dahil yung isang thrust niya bilang head ng PSC is to really promote sports tourism. And yung vision natin ngayon, a heritage in motion, trying to connect sports, culture, national identity. How much of a consideration was yung sports tourism aspect ng Tour of Luzon in this particular edition of the competition?
of course, there's the yung National Sports Tourism Interagency Committee na finorm ni PBBM last year. So even before that naman, the tour is always kakambal niya ang sports tourism. But now, because of social media and everything else online, ma-highlight ang countryside ng Pilipinas, ma-highlight ang mga tourist attractions, not only locally but also internationally. Kasi maraming foreign nationalities tayo eh. May iba-ibang nationalities ang sasali sa mga foreign teams. Even yung 7-Eleven, I believe they have 2 or 3 foreign riders. So 7-Eleven is a locally registered continental team. So it's always very important kasi it's not only the racing aspect, the sporting aspect, but also the other important consideration, the fact if a factor in is yung sports tourism, yung people outside of the organization and outside of the competition.
Sir Jun, I want to talk about the difficult part of organizing something like this, which is basically the logistics, the safety, and of course, yung organization. I saw it last year. I was there for many of the legs. At napansin ko that there would literally be hundreds of people at the finish line and the starting lines, and it would take literally coordinating with different LGUs from different regions just to make things work from a safety perspective in particular. Can you tell us a bit more about yung learnings nyo last year na magagamit nyo this year to ensure that it would be even smoother compared to what we've experienced in the past?
Yes, ang sabi nga nila, it always takes a village to create a world champion or Olympic champion. It takes not only a village to organize a multi-stage road cycling competition kasi andyan lahat ng elements, elements of nature. Andyan ang public motorists. Andyan we need to coordinate with the local government units, with government agencies, major government agencies, and from last year up to this year, compared to last year, yung mga LGUs and the government agencies were very enthusiastic and were very cooperative. Yung mga LGUs na pinuntahan namin, they were surprised, happily surprised, that the Tour of Luzon will either start or finish in their area. And then they're rolling out the red carpet, so to say. And with the government agencies naman, andyan si DILG, andyan si DPWH, andyan ang PNP, of course, because we need people with authority on the road. Andyan ang Office of the President, Malacanang, dahil this is sports tourism, and Philippine Sports Commission. Philippine Olympic Committee also, and the field cycling, lahat yan, parang nag-weave together. You just cannot operate, you cannot organize, and you cannot go on the road kasi like for this year we will be 14 days on the road.
Yes.
And ang venue and the field of play is outside, very much outside the ordinary. We are not playing inside an arena or a stadium, but every day nagbabago. Nagbabago ang aming venue, nagbabago ang weather, nagbabago ang sitwasyon sa kalsada.
Sir Jun, I want to be a bit selfish at the moment and talk about yung mga Philippine athletes po natin, especially those who are joining this. Because when we talk about athlete development, dati, if you wanted to participate in high-level competition, kailangan kang lumuwas sa Pilipinas to try and go and enjoy or compete against some of the top talents overseas. How important is a tournament, competition rather, like the Tour of Luzon, to be able to promote local grassroots development and of course find the next great Filipino cyclist?
Yes, yung mga foreign teams, of course, they have a different formula. And that different formula, however, is also being adopted na rin sa ating mga continental UCI teams. We have at least 3 or 4 continental teams. Andyan si Go for Gold, andyan si 7-Eleven, si Standard Insurance. They've been going out regularly every year. And then pag nag-invite ka ng foreign team, makikita mo yung foreign rider, iba yung training program, iba yung preparation from yung mga anecdotal na practices ng ating mga local riders. And nakikita nila yon, nakikita nila yung equipment. So that educates them, that inspires them, and especially the cyclists themselves pag nasa peloton na sila, kung paano mag-maneuver inside the peloton, kung kailan uminom ng tubig, kung kailan umatake. That's what the foreign teams are bringing sa atin, which is a very, very important privilege and opportunity para magkaroon ng technology transfer din.
And of course, in other words, correct me if I'm wrong, Sir Jun, basically, instead of going out of the country for exposure, dinadala natin yung exposure dito sa Pilipinas. Tama po ba?
Yes, we bring the exposure here at home sa Philippines, but in return, we bring out to the entire world what Philippine cycling is all about and what the Philippines has to offer. So, kumbaga, mas lamang tayo pag we bring them here. With social media nga, paulit-ulit kong sasabihin, the world will be watching, cycling world will be watching.
And of course, Sir Jun, right before we let you go, how can people follow the MPTC Tour of Luzon, and how excited should we be not only for this edition of the Tour of Luzon, but of course, yung mga future editions in the coming years?
Yes, of course. Signal TV, laging we have our Facebook page, we have our website, and we are also on cable and free TV. So, and ang mainstream media, we will have our mainstream media over there. So lahat ng platforms na possible, the Tour of Luzon, you can find it.
And of course, we cannot wait to cover it and of course be a part of it. Sir Jun, maraming salamat po. More power to you. Sana nga that the weather does stay that great the entire time, and I'll see you there tomorrow. Mabuhay po kayo.
I'll see you tomorrow, Paolo. Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much. And that concludes our roundup of the stories driving the industry forward. Ako po si Paolo del Rosario. Join us again tomorrow on Shift Happens, your fast track guide to everything on the move.